Alright, so today I'm just assembly lining, painting a bunch of dudes for my 5 parsecs from home. And I'm almost at the end of the first line here, but I decided just like, oh, well, I got the camera right here. Why don't I just throw some, footage on and at the last minute here. And I've got all these dudes, and I got like probably 20 or 30 guys I gotta paint here. And what I'm doing is I'm just like picking the first color that needs to happen, and which is black. Like a lot of these guys are base coated black, so I don't have to do the black. But a lot of these guys have got previous paint jobs on them, or they're already base coated a different color. But right now I'm just picking out guns. I want to base coat these guns in black, and then I'll dry brush them in silver at a later stage, and move on from there. And then I'll pick the next color, which will probably be something like a red or a yellow, and then I'll go through all the guys, and I'll kind of have an idea of which dudes I want to do in the next color. I got these two catachans here, which are already base coated black, but they don't match the other catachans, which are base coated gray. And I don't know if I'm gonna redo these guys, or if I'm just gonna see, this is my hero dude and just another generic dude, but they're not gonna look very uniform. But of course, this isn't for Warhammer. This is for these are just, cannon fodder kind of dudes. And so I'm just getting these guys to a decent tabletop. And the great thing about these miniatures is like you kind of let the model do the work. There's a lot of detail in these guys, even though they're years old. There's enough detail here to pick out and just let the model do the painting for you. Just give them a base coat of the basic color you want, and then you dry brush over, you put a wash on them, and then you dry brush it, give it some pop with some white, and the detail in the model itself will kind of bring out enough to where it may not look good like way up here, but way down here it's gonna look just fine. So this gray is taken in color really good. The color I'm using right now is Folk Art Licorice, which is my go-to black. But you can see how old this ball of paint is, and it just came out. It's a little thicker than toothpaste, but a little water will thin it back down. But a lot of times you're going to have problems with consistency. Now, if I was painting like, a $40 Primark character or some bullshit like that, I'd probably use, I break out the big guns and get some like nice Citadel colors or something, but we ain't doing that. So we ain't gonna. Let me get this knife blade here. Any kind of time I have like metal, I always like to give it a base coat of black, and then put the silver on. He's got like a knuckle guard on there. I'm gonna do that in like a gold or something, so I'm not gonna prime that. Oh, let's get his hair too. These guys are kind of Rambo style Vietnam jungle fighters, and I don't want to paint all of them with black hair. Some of them are going to be blonde, some of them are going to be maybe a red or something. They have like, there we go, boop, just like that. Let me get the underneath his bandana. It's not the prettiest paint job in the world, but we'll cover that up as we keep going. I got this last dude here. Probably shouldn't have got that much water because there's not much going on. This is the last guy that needs black in here. I'm also trying to get it to where you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. Man, when I first started doing this, I haven't painted a model in a really long time. When I first started, man, my hands were like super shaky. And they've kind of calmed down a bit now that I've concentrated, but they're not, it's not like they're the most steady. It's like I'm shaking the model, and then I'm shaking the brush. It's like, just get it in the right direction and hope for the best. Here, it's splattering everywhere. But from the time I started about an hour ago, it's like I can really get in and not fuck up the rest of the model, so that's not bad. I usually base coat in black and go from there. Like see this dude here, he's base coated in black, but I don't know what I'm gonna. It's like these guys that are base coated gray or other colors are actually, it's a little easier to do. Because the parts that are going to be black are black now. Like, see, I don't like this guy. This paint is way too... It's not coated black enough for me. Let me get a little bit better. Let me see if I can't get a second coat on there. Get that a little more black, because it's like that gray is really coming through. No, that's my dog climbing underneath me. Clicking it. Alright, so that looks pretty decent. And there's all my guys. And I'll move on to the next color.